Crying on cue. A pretty daunting demand for the actor. I know whenever I see the word cries in my audition script, I get a little nervous, a little bit anxious because it's a lot to cry on cue. Personally, I'm a firm believer in just acting naturally, and whatever organic emotions come up, do those, and if crying doesn't feel right, don't do it. You always want your performance to feel natural and not forced. But if you're looking to add a little bit of spice to your audition with some tears, I have 4 different methods that you can use to cry on cue. And hey, maybe you're not even an actor, but you just want to learn how to cry on cue to manipulate people. I mean, go off. As William Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage. If you're looking to manipulate people, I mean, that's your business. I'm just giving it tips. And also stay tuned till the end of this video because we have a monologue submission. It's been a while since we've had one. You guys are in for a treat, and if you don't know what it is, well, you'll find out. And be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any acting tips or valuable information for your acting career. So let's just get into the video. How is everybody doing today? I have an in-person audition today after I film this video that I have to go to. And I got my first car yesterday. It's a beautiful Honda Accord in the pearlescent white. But let me know what's been going on in your life. Anything exciting? Leave a comment down below. But enough happiness. We gotta get sad today. Let's begin with method number 1. The yawn. Now I know that kind of sounds weird. Makayla, we're trying to cry on cue, not sleep on cue. What are you talking about yawning? Well, you know how when you yawn, your eyes get a little bit watery? That's what we're trying to get at. So basically, in order to use this method, you're gonna have to yawn on demand. It's scientifically proven that yawning is contagious. One way people yawn on demand is by watching other people yawn because then they will yawn, it like triggers it. But that doesn't really work for me. So what I do is I just open my mouth for a really long time, really wide, and then just hold it open until I yawn. And once I yawn, I'll notice that my eyes get watery and I can just maybe keep yawning if I want more water in my eyes. But I will say the downside to this method is that you can only use it at the beginning of your audition scene. You can't really be performing a dramatic scene and then go like that in the middle of it. For my audition for Grey's Anatomy, I actually used this method to look like I was stressed and scared. I yawned so that my eyes were watery and they looked glossy, and it really added to the visual performance. Method number 2. Substitution. Now the substitution method is when you replace the characters within your scene with people that you know or people that are close to you. So for example, your character is looking at their dad on a hospital bed and he's sick and he's on his deathbed basically. You would replace the imaginary character with your actual father or somebody that you really care about to try and put yourself in the character's shoes. I will say this method is a little bit toxic. Personally, I do not use this method, but I know that it works for some people, but I would say use it at your own risk. Again, like imagining people you know in traumatic situations can be bad for your mental health. If you're not comfortable with that, then I would recommend using method number 3. Backstory. So for backstory, let's go back to our dad in the hospital room and he's on his deathbed, right? So instead of replacing that fictional character with somebody in your real life, you're gonna wanna create a backstory about your relationship with this person. By using backstory, you're gonna be able to have this history with this person you're in the scene with, even though it's fictional, like you would with somebody in real life, where you have that deep connection in those memories with somebody. And so you can do that through this exercise that I'm gonna talk about right now. So basically, you're gonna start off this method with looking at your character notes and also the character notes for the other person you're in the scene with if it's available to you. Try and figure out your relationship with this person. You can also use context clues by looking at your script. If the father's on a deathbed and I'm giving a monologue about how I remember when we used to go get ice cream every Sunday, you can take those little key moments and you can create a backstory for those so that when you're talking about it in your monologue, you have this mental image of that historic moment. So you're gonna wanna gather a few instances where you want to create these backstories. Now we're gonna head into a dark room. There's no distractions, no noise, no nothing. Maybe you can go into a closet or a bathroom and it's just quiet and dark and black. And you're gonna sit on the floor and you're just gonna close your eyes and you're going to try and paint this mental picture of this moment that you want in your backstory. So maybe I can go back to when I was 8 and my dad and I are sitting across from each other at an ice cream parlor and we're inside and I can smell cookies and cream in the air and I can smell waffle cones being pressed on an iron, and I'm looking at my dad and he's wearing a blue shirt and he's smiling and he has like little chocolate fudge on his lip and I laugh at him. You're painting this picture for yourself and you're trying to create an artificial memory. And so really touch on the senses, what things smelled like, what things looked like, what did the ice cream taste like. So now that you have that mental image in your mind, when you're performing your monologue and you're saying everything about the ice cream, it's gonna mean something so much deeper to you. It's a super huge tip. Method number 3 is by far my favorite. And if you liked method number 3, definitely leave a thumbs up on this video because it really helps me out and I'm giving away my secrets. So I would really appreciate it. Now it's time for method number 4. Fake it till you make it. And what do I mean by fake it till you make it? I mean convince the body that you're going through something traumatic and emotional. So I actually used this method on Station 19 when I was performing. I had just woken up from being unconscious and I'm looking for my mom and I don't know what's going on and I'm scared. And right before the director called action, I was on the floor and I started breathing heavy. And I started forcing myself to shake and look around and bat my eyes. And as I tried to rile my body up, my mental state was catching that drift and it was oh, okay, I think we're going through something traumatic. So instead of starting in your mind and that manifesting into your physicality, like method 3, you're gonna start with your physicality and that will manifest itself into your mind for an organic looking audition. So that's a really great method because you always want to be aware as an actor your body language. You're not going to have a really panicky and emotional scene, but you're going to stay still. Hopefully you guys found these tips helpful. If you did, please be sure to subscribe before you leave. It would really make my day and help me out on this channel. Leave a like as well so that more people can find this. It boosts the video. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Now it's time for that time that hasn't been around in a long time. It is time for the monologue submission. So what is a monologue submission? It is an original concept that I actually started on this channel, and basically you guys send me your acting for me to critique. I just give you my opinion, keyword opinion, okay? If you send me your video, I figure you want to get my opinion, so don't be mad at me. So if you want to submit a monologue to me for a chance to be featured on my channel, you can go over to my Instagram and click the little highlight bubble that says monologues, and you'll have all the information there on how to submit. And if you've submitted a monologue to me within the past 8 months, I probably haven't seen it because I went on a YouTube break. So please be sure to re-email me your submission so that you have a better chance of it getting seen by me. We're going to review a monologue from Maria Stantis. Thank you so much for submitting, Maria. I always say anybody who submits a monologue is very brave for putting themselves up for public criticism. Her Instagram is at Maria J. Santis. So yes, let's review your monologue. And definitely let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below as we go through.
Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. Mama, just look at me for 1 minute. As you really saw me. Mama, 14 years had gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother. Mama, I married George Gibbs. Mama. Wally's dead too. His appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. We felt terrible about it, don't you remember? But just for a moment, we're all together. Just for a moment, we can be happy. Let's look one another. I can't go on. It goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. I didn't realize. So all that was going on and we never noticed. Take me back. Up the hill. To my grave.
Okay, so let's get a round of applause for Maria's submission. Just starting off with the visual elements at first, I love how you just have a plain background, super simple, nothing distracting. I will say the only distracting thing that I'm pretty sure we're all thinking is the dog barking. When you're taping, if there's noise that you can't really control, I would say just hold off on your audition and wait a little bit. And if you're like just filming based off the sunlight, I would say definitely invest in like some lights so that if dogs are barking in the morning, you can wait it out, and if night comes, you can just pull out your lights and then do your scene when it's quiet. Now let's move on to the acting. I do think you had a lot of great moments in there, a lot of like nice reflective moments, but I do think that there can be some improvements. Starting off with the beginning, I noticed that you began your like tape with smiling at the camera and then immediately going into your scene. So when I press record, sometimes I'll just stand there for maybe 30 seconds and just really prepare myself, think about my before thought, see the person in front of me, and really think about the situation I'm in, try and put myself in that space. And then when I'm editing, I can just chop off all the extra silence and then go into my scene. So I would suggest having that like before thought that we talk about on this channel. And again, I think with the volume, it's still like a little bit low. Changing your volume is definitely something that can add to like the dynamics of a scene and make it more interesting. It can add emphasis on some things. It can show vulnerability and other things when you lower your voice. Using volume for artistic choices is super important, and I think just the whole scene, the volume was pretty much the same. So I would suggest that, and along with facial expressions, I think that you can try and amp it up a little bit more, showing those emotions on your face. So if I'm looking and I feel sad but happy that I'm seeing my mom, look at the forehead lines too. Mama. So kind of something like that. I don't know, just kind of doing this on the fly. So I would say that as well. It's really going to enhance your performance.
Mama, 14 years had gone by.
I like that. I like the like 14 years, like coming like, oh, like the sigh talk. I think that was nice. I like that.
Mama, I married George Gibbs. Mama.
Sometimes I feel like the mamas are kind of being like pushed into the background. You always want to have intention with every word that you're saying. You're saying it repeatedly, so maybe it's to try and get her attention, maybe it's for something else. That's your choice as the actor. What are you trying to get? So if it's to get her attention, say it trying to get her to listen to you instead of just kind of saying it in the background, if that makes sense. That's how it feels.
But just for a moment, we're all together. Just for a moment, we can be happy.
I like how you went just for a moment. Good rhythm, like that. It was a good monologue, and I do think that there can be some improvements to it, but hey, if you think I'm wrong, definitely leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about Maria's submission. I would love to hear your opinions. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it till the end, comment paintbrush. I love seeing all the people who comment the keyword. It's so much fun and it makes me feel like, wow, people actually stayed to watch this stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to see what I'm up to right now, you can definitely go over to my Instagram because I'm probably posting on there. That concludes the video. Be sure to check out this video. I just posted a callback vlog, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.